It's almost impossible these days to go through your day without bumping into social media somehow, scrolling your feed, seeing those ads that seem to know exactly what you were talking about. Businesses are everywhere on there trying to connect with you. Okay, let's unpack this a bit, because behind all that scrolling and clicking, there's this huge, absolutely booming world. It's like the engine room of a big part of our digital economy now. We're talking about the social media marketing platform market. And that's our deep dive today.
Exactly. And our mission really is to dig into what these platforms actually are. What's the tech making them tick? Why have they become so essential for businesses, big and small? And crucially, where's the major growth happening around the world? We're using insights here from a report by Cognitive Market Research. It's called Global Social Media Marketing Platform Market, Revenue Forecasts 2021-2033.
Yeah, this whole deep dive is really about getting our heads around this massive digital change that's happening and the economic muscle behind it. It's not just marketing anymore, is it? It feels like it's fundamentally changing how companies actually talk to you, connect with you. So maybe to kick us off, for our listeners who follow this space, what exactly is a social media marketing platform? I mean, beyond the obvious, what makes them so critical right now?
Right. Well, it's not just one thing. Think of it more like a whole sophisticated ecosystem. It's a suite, really, of digital tools, services, platforms, all designed to let businesses and brands manage and optimize and really analyze their marketing efforts across all those social channels you use every day. It's gone way past just scheduling a few posts. These platforms, they handle a lot, and the tech behind them has gotten seriously advanced. We're talking, content scheduling that might use AI to figure out the best time to post something for, like maximum impact. Sophisticated ways to manage influencer campaigns, social listening too, that's huge. It's not just keyword spotting anymore. Often it's using things like natural language processing to understand, the sentiment behind millions of online conversations, spotting trends in real time. Then you have really detailed analytics, performance tracking, using big data to see if a specific campaign actually led to a sale, plus tools for customer engagement, and of course managing those highly targeted paid ads you see.
Okay, so it's clear businesses are putting serious money here. But beyond just getting more eyeballs or direct sales, what are maybe the deeper strategic reasons they're investing so heavily now?
Well, yeah, reach and sales are key, obviously. But it's also about building real customer loyalty, doing that through consistent, personalized interaction. These platforms enable a really data-driven approach. Brands can understand their audience in ways they just couldn't before,
Yeah.
optimizing every little interaction. And what's really fascinating, you mentioned the growth. It's not just steady growth. It's like an exponential explosion, which really signals this fundamental shift in how businesses operate online. It's about creating this whole integrated digital presence where social media is off the front door for customers, for everything from browsing to buying.
And the numbers, wow, they really back that up. When I first looked at these figures, the sheer scale of the projected growth, it leaps off the page. So get this. In 2021, the global market was valued at roughly $249.6 billion. Okay,
Yeah.
fast forward just to 2025, and that number shot up to nearly $597 billion, almost $600 billion. Here's the kicker. By 2033, the projection is $3,427 billion. That's $3.4 trillion. I mean, we're watching a multi-trillion-dollar industry basically emerge in just over a decade. That's incredible.
It really is. And putting that in perspective, a market that size, it allows for types of innovation, whole new business models that you just couldn't have imagined before. It's not just small improvements. It's genuinely transforming the digital economy from the ground up. Now, if we break down this global boom by region, North America, it's been the powerhouse for a while, right? Their market revenue started around $86 billion back in 2021, and it's projected to hit an incredible $1,134 billion by 2033, over $1 trillion just for North America. And that dominance isn't just because they started early. It's also tied to, a really strong VC environment, constant innovation, especially AI-driven tools that keep these platforms super cutting edge.
Right. And within North America, the U.S. is way out in front. Started near $76 billion in 21, projected to hit almost $1 trillion itself by 2033, almost $970 billion. But like you said, it's not just the U.S. Canada's showing really strong growth too, looking at over $140 billion by 2033. And even Mexico, starting smaller, around $2.2 billion in 21, is expected to reach over $23 billion. So it's definitely a broad North American thing. Okay, so shifting across the pond, Europe. Also a massive player, obviously. holds a really significant chunk of this market. Europe's market was, what, nearly $74 billion in 2021, and that's projected to get close to $960 billion by 2033. Maybe not quite the same explosive rate as some other regions we'll talk about, but the sheer size and that steady climb make it incredibly important.
Absolutely. And within Europe, you see several key countries showing really substantial growth. Germany, for example, started around $14 billion, projected to hit $177 billion. The UK starting over $9 billion, expected to reach $112 billion. France over $10 billion initially, heading towards $144 billion. Italy, Russia too, both starting around $8 billion and $7 billion respectively, and both projected over $100 billion by 2033. And that consistent trend you see across major European economies, it's often helped by a mature digital ad market, plus strong regulations like GDPR, which, can be challenging for companies, but also kind of pushes for more sophisticated, trustworthy platforms, which helps consumer adoption. And you also see solid growth in Spain, Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, Luxembourg. It's widespread.
That's impressive, that kind of steady, solid growth in these more established markets. I wonder, is there a risk, though, that these areas, maybe Europe particularly, could hit a saturation point, or maybe new regulations could slow things down eventually? That's a fair question. I mean, growth rates might naturally ease off a bit as markets mature, that makes sense. But the thing is, the innovation doesn't seem to be stopping. Things like hyper-personalization, new content formats. Think about VR, AR, metaverse integrations. It suggests the landscape is constantly shifting, creating new opportunities. And regulations, they're definitely a factor. But often, they tend to push platforms towards being more transparent or capable, rather than just stopping growth cold. The basic desire for digital connection for brands and consumers, that seems pretty strong still.
Okay, that makes sense. So if North America and Europe are the established giants, Asia Pacific, that's the one really charging up the ranks, isn't it? This region is showing just an incredible surge. Started around $56 billion in 2021, but projected to grow massively to $841 billion by 2033. That's a huge slice of the global pie, and it's getting bigger fast.
It really is. And the leaders there are pretty striking. China, obviously a huge force, almost $17 billion back in 2021, forecasted to reach nearly $250 billion by 2033. India, its growth is just remarkable, from under $9 billion in 2021 up to a projected $162 billion. That's massive acceleration. Japan also showing very strong growth, looking to cross $150 billion. And a lot of this rapid growth in APAC, it's driven by huge populations who are mobile first, skip the desktop phase in many cases. Plus, explosive e-commerce growth and the rise of these super apps where social media isn't just for marketing, it's where you shop, bank, chat. It's integral to daily life.
Right, and it's not only those big three. You mentioned the report also shows strong growth in South Korea, Australia, Singapore, across Southeast Asia, Taiwan. So it's broad there too. Are we seeing different kinds of platforms or maybe different content trends really taking off in APAC compared to the West?
Well, definitely. Beyond just the sheer scale, Asia-Pacific often leads the way in things like innovative social commerce, buying directly within the app. Live streaming sales events are huge there. Gamification integrated into social platforms too. That blend of entertainment, community, and direct buying, it often feels much deeper, more integrated than what we typically see in the West. They often set trends that eventually ripple out globally. It's a real hotbed of digital innovation. And another key point here, this growth, it isn't just happening in the big established economies or the super fast risers like China and India. The investment in these platforms is genuinely global now. Emerging markets are seeing rapid expansion too. Take South America. The whole market there was about $12.7 billion in 2021, forecasted to hit nearly $200 billion by 2033. Brazil's the big driver there, often linked to increasing internet access and a growing middle class really embracing digital life. The Middle East, another one, growing fast.
Over $10 billion in 2021, projected over $160 billion by 2033. Key players like Saudi Arabia seeing huge growth, often fueled by really young populations and super high mobile phone usage. Turkey, UAE, Egypt, Qatar also contributing. And Africa too. Started around $10 billion in 21, projected to reach over $133 billion by 2033. Nigeria is a major force there, often leapfrogging older tech straight to mobile-first digital engagement. South Africa is also significant.
So, okay, what we're really seeing is it's not just a few tech hubs driving this. It's broad, almost universal adoption, huge investment everywhere. It's genuinely a global shift with, different reasons driving it in different places. But the overall trend is undeniable. Mature markets getting deeper, emerging ones building their digital future right on these platforms.
Exactly. So if we kind of connect all this back to the bigger picture, It's just staggering overall growth, isn't it? From hundreds of billions towards multiple trillions of dollars globally. And that consistent upward curve, pretty much everywhere you look, across all continents, major economies, it really tells you this is a fundamental, lasting change in how businesses have to operate and communicate now. This is the basic infrastructure for building a brand and talking to customers in the modern world.
So let's bring it back to the listener. What does all this actually mean for you, living your life in this increasingly digital world? Why should you care about these enormous numbers, this evolving market?
Well, I mean, first off, it directly shapes how you interact with brands and the content you see online every single day. It's the complex machinery behind those personalized ads, the influencer campaigns, maybe even the live shopping events you stumble across. And maybe more strategically, it shows where a huge amount of money and brain power, innovation is flowing in the digital economy. Understanding these trends could give you an edge. Maybe you're thinking about career paths, areas like AI and marketing, social commerce strategy, these are booming. Or maybe you're an entrepreneur spotting opportunities in niches within this massive expanding sector. There's definitely potential there. So I think the core takeaway from this deep dive has to be this. The social media marketing platform market isn't just growing. That almost undersells it. It's undergoing this profound transformation.
Becoming a multi-trillion-dollar industry that is actively reshaping business globally and,
Right.
reshaping our digital lives along with it.
And that leads to maybe a final thought for you to consider. Given this explosive path we've mapped out, all this constant tech advancement, how do you think this relentless global investment in social media marketing platforms will fundamentally change, maybe even rewire our digital existence? From how we get our news and information to how companies function, maybe even how we define community online. How different will it all look in the very near future?
Welcome to the deep dive. That digital world, it feels like it's just woven into everything we do now. We're diving right into it today. Just try to picture this. Over 5 billion active users globally, all connecting, sharing, discovering on social media. It really has become the new town square, hasn't it? So our mission in this deep dive is to really unpack the social media marketing platform market. We want to figure out how this space isn't just, big, but evolving super rapidly. There are these incredible new opportunities, but also some pretty significant challenges. And ultimately, we want to show you how all these forces are shaping the future, like how brands connect directly with you, the consumer. It's just such a dynamic landscape. How we discover things, interact, even how we shop online. It feels like it's changing by the minute.
It's really quite remarkable, isn't it, how social media has moved way beyond just, sharing photos or updates. These platforms, they're now the main engines for discovering brands, for genuine interaction with audiences, and crucially, for direct commerce. Did you know that some recent reports show a really significant chunk of global e-commerce actually starts right inside social apps now,
Yeah.
not search engines?
Well, it's not just a trend. It feels like a fundamental shift. It offers these unprecedented opportunities for super targeted outreach and real-time customer engagement.
That is a huge shift. So, okay, if we're looking at what's really fueling this incredible momentum and innovation in social media marketing, what are the key things? What stands out? Well, a monumental force, really, is this seamless integration of artificial intelligence. AI. It's absolutely transforming marketing strategies. We're moving beyond just basic analytics now. Think about capabilities like predictive analytics, automated content generation, even real-time campaign optimization. For example, AI can now predict with pretty remarkable accuracy which product you might buy next, sometimes even before you realize you want it, just by analyzing, subtle browsing patterns and interactions across platforms.
Wow. So the impact there is, oh, it's profound. It means brands can deliver hyper-personalized messages, but at a massive scale. So that translates to what? Better ad targeting, obviously, but also a big boost in ROI, return on investment, and a much faster time to market for campaigns.
Exactly. Much faster.
And here's where I think it gets really fascinating. Those lines blurring between just browsing online and actually buying something. How's that playing out?
Yes, that's the rise of integrated social commerce. And it's effectively collapsing the funnel, as they say in marketing. What that means is that you as a consumer can discover something, engage with it, maybe ask a question, and then purchase the product, all without ever leaving the social app. Just think about it. You might be watching a live stream, right? And with just a tap, you can buy the product they're showing. Or maybe you see a friend's post with a product tag on it, you click it, and boom, you're instantly at an in-app checkout. This isn't just about making it easier, though. It's radically reshaping those traditional purchase journeys we're used to, and it's unlocking entirely new revenue streams for businesses, big ones.
That's such a powerful picture of opportunity. But, it does make me wonder. With growth this fast and all this innovation, there must be some inevitable speed bumps, significant challenges that come with it.
You're absolutely right to ask that. This market, for all its immense opportunity, it definitely faces some very significant restraints, hurdles that businesses really have to navigate strategically.
Yeah, one of the biggest, no question, is the whole evolving landscape around data privacy and regulation. We're seeing the profound impact of stricter rules like GDPR in Europe and CCPA in California. Plus, you've got platform-led changes like Apple's app tracking transparency. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that caused a stir.
Exactly. And these changes significantly curb the, let's say, traditional ability to just collect and leverage user data like before. It's forcing marketers to pivot, really pivot, towards first-party data strategies.
Meaning data they collect themselves directly.
Precisely. So focusing on collecting customer data through their own channels like loyalty programs, website interactions, email signups, not relying so much on third-party cookies or that wider tracking. And of course, this means complying with increasingly complex legal frameworks. It's a minefield sometimes. And I imagine the unpredictable nature of the social media algorithms themselves, that can be a real headache for brands trying to connect, can it?
Oh, absolutely. It could be a major challenge. The big platforms, they frequently alter how content gets shown in user feeds, algorithmic changes they call them. And this can massively disrupt a brand's organic reach sometimes, like almost overnight.
Wow.
Yeah, it essentially forces them to constantly recalibrate their content strategies, test new things, or often just increase their paid promotion budgets simply to maintain visibility and reach their audience. It's this continuous balancing act.
A moving target.
Definitely. And beyond that, you've got intensifying competition. I
Mhm.
mean, think about it. More and more businesses are flooding these platforms, so naturally, advertising costs are rising. And maybe most critically, consumer attention spans. They seem to be shrinking.
Tell me about it.
Right. So these factors together make it significantly harder for marketers to get the results they want, to achieve their performance outcomes, and just generally stand out in a very, very crowded digital space.
Okay, so despite those hurdles, those very real challenges, what exciting new trends are maybe shaping the future? Are there fresh pathways emerging for connection and engagement?
It's often said, that innovation thrives amidst challenge, and I think that's certainly true here. Looking ahead, there are definitely several key trends that are really defining the next wave of social media marketing.
Yes.
And leading that charge, without a shadow of a doubt, is the explosive popularity of short-form video.
Oh, my screen time report definitely reflects that trend. We're talking the vertical formats, right? TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, that kind of thing.
Exactly those. These formats are just dominating engagement metrics. Why? Well, because users respond so much more enthusiastically to dynamic, visually rich, and importantly, bite-sized content. It's concise, it's incredibly captivating, and just perfect for quick consumption in that endless scroll environment we all live in.
Makes sense.
Brands that really master this format are seeing just incredible reach and interaction levels. Another really significant shift we're observing is the rise of micro-influencers.
Ah, interesting. Not the huge celebrities.
Well, there's a noticeable move away from only using traditional celebrity endorsements. Instead, brands are looking for more authentic, often niche partnerships with these micro-influencers. Now, their audiences might be smaller in just raw numbers, sure, but they're often far more engaged, and they trust the recommendations much more deeply. And what that usually yields is better conversion rates and, importantly, stronger, more genuine connections with consumers. It feels more real.
That focus on authenticity, on deeper connection, that really feels like it could be the next wave of marketing success, doesn't it?
It truly does. And building on that, we're now seeing the emergence of really advanced AI-powered hyper-personalization tools. These capabilities, they go far beyond what we discussed earlier. We're talking about real-time content customization.
So like the ad itself changes based on who's seeing it instantly.
Exactly. Visuals, text, adapting instantly to individual user preferences. We're also seeing predictive campaign modeling that can anticipate consumer behavior, not just tomorrow, but months ahead. And highly sophisticated AI chatbots, for instance, truly personalized customer service, not just generic answers. This is fundamentally transforming how brands can connect with consumers on a genuine one-to-one basis, almost anticipating their needs before they even express them.
That's quite a leap. So given all this evolution, this rapid innovation, who are the companies that are really defining the cutting edge? Who's leading the charge in this space?
Right, the competitive landscape is incredibly vibrant. There are quite a few leading innovators doing interesting things. Instead of just rattling off a long list, maybe let me highlight a few and what makes them stand out. Take Sprout Social, for example. They're known for more than just scheduling posts. They're advanced social listening tools. They can actually help predict a potential PR crisis by identifying subtle shifts in sentiment in real-time conversations across dozens of platforms. That allows brands to respond proactively, not reactively.
That's powerful stuff.
It really is. Or consider a giant like Salesforce. They're consistently integrating AI throughout their whole marketing cloud. This enables not just that hyper-personalization we talked about, but also optimizing ad spend before campaigns even launch based on predictive analytics. That can save brands significant budget.
Eh.
Very smart. And then there's someone like Hootsuite. They continue to adapt, offering these integrated publishing and analytics tools that really simplify managing complex campaigns and tracking ROI, even as all the regulatory demands get tougher. And these companies, along with others you might hear about like HubSpot, Zoho Social, Sprinkler, they're really redefining campaign management. They do it through advanced analytics, deep social listening, integrated publishing tools. They are constantly evolving their platforms to adapt to regulatory changes, market demands. It's nonstop. Essentially, their solutions cover everything from platform monetization strategies to finding the right influencers to that crucial ROI tracking. They really enable brands not just to keep pace with all this change, but ideally to lead it, to navigate this really complex digital world effectively.
Wow. That was an incredibly insightful exploration today. Really fascinating stuff. We've peeled back the layers on, well, the sheer scale of social media adoption, first off, then those driving forces, AI, integrated social commerce, and we also looked at the very real challenges, the realities of data privacy rules and those ever-shifting algorithms. Yet, despite that, we also glimpsed this exciting future being shaped by short-form video, the surprising power of micro-influencers, and that next wave of truly personal hyper-personalization. And understanding these trends, it isn't just for marketers, is it? It feels absolutely crucial for you listening, whether you're a consumer just trying to understand the ads you see, a curious learner, or just someone navigating this increasingly digital landscape we all live in. So here's a final thought maybe to mull over for your week ahead. In a world that seems to be driving towards ever-increasing hyper-personalization, how do you imagine that balance, the balance between convenience, genuine connection, and our individual privacy? How will that evolve in the social media space over the next few years? And maybe, what responsibilities do the platforms hold? What about the brands? And what responsibility do you hold as a user in shaping whatever that future looks like? Something to think about.